Good morning, everybody. It's your girl Miracle Sims, and you're listening to God, Sex, and Love. Your daily dose of inspiration and juice. It is January the 10th, 2024, and today the topic is Hogwash. Happy Wednesday, y'all. Yes, happy Wednesday. I hope that you guys had a terrific Tuesday. Mine was just fine. Mine was chill overall. Not too much of significance to share. I mean, I did chit chat briefly with uh brother. Why did his name just go away from my mind? Well, I mean, our brother over there at Anointed Touch, Health, Fitness, and Beauty. Um, his name is just going away from my mind. I feel like it starts with an L. That's so bad. But anyway, maybe I'll try to find it real quick. But yeah, I chit chatted with him briefly. He mentioned he wanted Mr. Leo. Ugh, goodness gracious! I'm like, why did his name go away from my mind? I was about to say Lee and everything else. Leo, brother Leo. Of Anointed Touch Health, Fitness, and Beauty, and basically he wants me to be on a future episode of his podcast and whatnot. And so I was like, yeah, that's pretty much it. That was the only thing of significance that happened yesterday. Ate some leftovers, um, got some rest, working on actually, was approving costuming for my show that's coming up next month. That's pretty much it. I know I did wake up from a dream last night. I don't know what all it means, but basically what was going on in it was that it seemed like I was on my way to work, but not the work that I'm doing now. Like some previous work I used to do, it was different because it wasn't. It just seemed different. It didn't seem exactly the way that it used to be. So that was one thing. And then it seemed like I was riding with somebody, where I needed to get a ride to get there and stuff. So that was one interesting thing. And then when I got there, it's like I didn't necessarily have, or I didn't bring with me whatever I needed. I had to use things that was there. And another random thing is that my legs was bigger, which anybody that knows me knows that I got like really skinny legs. So, but I don't know. Anyway, I don't know what the dream means and stuff like that. I mean, I did look up a couple of things that stood out to me, and it was interesting. But who knows? I mean, hey, I don't know. But anyway, that was something I woke up to this morning. By the time I woke up, I saw that it was 3:56. I did look up those things as well. I looked up the Strong's Concordance to around 3:56, and it pretty much led me to start thinking about oak trees. And as I was thinking about that, I was pretty much reminded about a commercial that I think I saw yesterday at some point. Um, and in the commercial, basically what was going on was that it seemed to be a guy interviewing another guy, but the other guy was being anonymous, like his voice and um, was being distorted, and his body was being blocked or whatever. And whoever the guy was, the mysterious person, they were saying things along the line of like alluding that they were in the Garden of Eden, and that everything that the Bible's saying about the Garden of Eden it's a good start or a good thing to I guess reflect on, but it wasn't telling everything or something like that. And and the interviewer was just sitting there asking questions like, a regular conversation, you know, like, oh, well, what do you mean by that? And then what you're saying is completely conflicting. The word of God explains these. So what do you say to that? And then of course the person is talking with all this confidence and whatnot, and saying what they're saying. Um, but anyway, I was reminded of that this morning as I was just reflecting on again what some of the words meant for the Strong's Concordance, which led me to oak tree and things like that. And I guess as I was reflecting on oak tree, I was thinking about again the Garden of Eden, and obviously the tree of knowledge of good and evil, this, that, and the other, which ultimately led me to think about that commercial, which soon as I thought about that, the word hogwash came into my heart and mind. I'm like, okay. And I looked it up and here we are. So I guess with that being said, I mean, clearly the things that quote unquote mysterious person was saying, uh, to me, is clearly hogwash. I mean, sure, we can listen to it, right? We can go and find the interview and listen to everything that person had to say and compare and contrast and, you know, decide whether we want to believe it or not. But then I guess as somebody that is, again, reading the Bible for myself, right? And things of that nature, for me, it's like, why even subject myself to those ideas? Not to be like, again, some people need to do that, right? Some people need to do the deep dive and listen to all the different opinions to then make their decision about what they want to do. Matter of fact, I'm reminded of Cat Williams in this moment because I know he mentioned, I've listened to a couple of his interviews now, the very you know, prevalent one that everybody's talking about, and then I think there's another one that just came out recently. And I noticed that he mentioned that in his journey, yeah, he did go and experience different religions and things of that nature. Don't get me wrong. I too thought that I was going to do something along those lines as I was growing up, because I just wanted to see, right? You wanted to see and to make a decision for yourself and everything like that, right? And again, some people got to do that and do that deep dive. Um, I would say I've done a deep dive to a certain extent, but also not that far, you know, to actually go and go for myself in other religious ideas that far. But you know, I have read up on some stuff, you know, yeah, I have like went and looked into, you know, some different things. At the same time, I believe the wisdom that I've gained, or the way that I do it is doing it again from the biblical lens, um, and looking at those things in that way. But again, I understand that everybody's probably not going to do it that way. Again, people have their own ways to, you know, come to their own conclusions and things of that nature. But with all of that being said, I guess I don't know if this is a warning or just a reminder, that there's plenty of hogwash, you know, out there, and there's plenty to be um, that you could be confused by. Matter of fact, I ended up going to gotquestions.org, and I forgot to write down the exact name of the article. But when I went to gotquestions.org and plugged in the word hogwash, only one article came up, and it was good to read and reflect on. So I believe that the same will happen for you. Just go to gotquestions.org and plug in hogwash, and I'm sure you probably see the article that I saw. My apologies for not writing it down and putting it in the Go Deeper section as I meant to do so. But yeah, if you need to go deeper again about this concept of hogwash and, you know, from a biblical perspective and things of that nature, then go and check that out. But if not, you guys can keep tuning in to your girl right now. You know, I'm going to share what the Lord shared with me this morning in regards to this. And I hope that it will encourage and inspire you. So obviously, I looked up the definition of hogwash, and this is what it says: complete nonsense, lies, or ridiculous actions. Right after that, in the definition, it gave an example of something that is deemed to be hogwash. And the example was pretty much saying that if someone, for example, promises you that a pill will give you 10 times the strength if you take it every day, that's hogwash. And then after that example, this was said. It says the informal hogwash is perfect for talking about falsehoods and foolishness. I think we all know somebody, right? Or know some type of situation where we have observed in life where people are just so willing to just talk about anything, even if it, makes no sense at all. Like they just love to talk, right? So they're willing to just talk about all the things. And then if that person is talking quote unquote hogwash or foolishness or lies or whatever it is, that could be a draining thing. Um, I'm reminded of this show that my husband and I was binge watching the other day, and I think it's called What We Did in the Shadows or something like that. And it talks about these different vampires, and I don't know, I mean, maybe it seems to be more comedic than gory, but either way, one of the quote unquote vampires is an energy vampire, and the guy literally goes around and talks and stuff and just drains people of their energy as he's talking. And I guess again, I'm reminded of this as it's just reflecting on this whole thing about, I guess, hogwash, complete nonsense, lies, ridiculous actions, um, falsehoods and foolishness. So let's see what the Bible got to say about this. So here goes some of the verses that stood out to me this morning. Colossians 3:9. It says, "Do not lie to one another, seeing that you have put off the old self with its practices." Again, when you come to Christ, you became a new creature. And so, if you were once to lie in your past, you need to lay that down and don't do it anymore. And it says here clearly that, seeing as that you have put off your old self with its practices, then that is something that, again, you have to lay down. I found it interesting that there was several verses that pretty much warned us not to go around, I guess, spreading hogwash, right? Not to go around just lying and things of that nature. Matter of fact, here's another verse that pretty much reiterates it. It's Ephesians 4:25. It says, "Therefore, having put away falsehood, let each one of you speak speak the truth with his neighbor, for we are all members, for we are members one of another." So again, it's warning us here not to spread falsehoods, right? It's warning us to speak the truth. I was reminded as I was writing these verses down of the one verse that talks about even a fool could be seen as wise if they don't talk. uh, Basically, you guys can go and read the exact verse and read all the exact words the way that it's written, but it's pretty much saying along the lines of, again, even a fool can be seen as wise if they don't basically take away the impression by talking and things of that nature. Sometimes it's just best to be silent. It's best to, rather than spreading hogwash, right, falsehoods, lies, things of that nature, it's best to just remain quiet. Just something to think about, as we approach life and approach, all these different things and ideas. Of course, there's a lot of, again, ideas out there. And, again, if you're somebody that needs to do the deep dive and go and see and make sure and then by all means, do whatever you need to do. Prayerfully, you'll come back on to Christ and things of that nature. But if not, it doesn't even seem to be a wise choice to even, engulf your mind and things in that. Again, that article that I forgot to write down was addressing all of these things. And it was talking about how Paul was talking to I think it was the Colossians. Y'all can go and make sure. But basically warning them of these things. And so these are just things to think about. I'm just throwing them out there, again, to think about these things. Wisdom from ages ago that still is in play and it matters right now. So again, take it or leave it. But there you go. Isaiah 32:6, it says, "For the fool speaks folly, and his heart is busy with iniquity, to practice ungodliness, to utter errors concerning the Lord, to leave the craving of the hungry unsatisfied, and to deprive the thirsty of drink." I guess this is what it's like, y'all, to again speak hogwash, foolishness, spread lies, whatever the case may be. It just pretty much is telling us here that this is practicing ungodliness. And it's basically leaving the hungry unsatisfied and the thirsty still be thirsty and things like that. You guys can go deeper. There's plenty of verses in the go deeper section to peruse and let marinate on your heart, souls, and minds in regards to this conversation about hogwash. I think there might be a little bit more information in there about those that choose to listen to such things, alongside of, again, those that choose to share and spread it as well. So by all means, go deeper, check all those verses out. Go check out that article at godquestions.org. And I hope that you are encouraged and inspired today to avoid hogwash by all means, by any means necessary. Again, it just really depends. I was going to say it's not wise to, again, engulf your heart and mind in such things, unless you're like a strong person, right, that can listen to things and then again use your wisdom and discernment to make the right and best decision. Then okay, cool. But if you're not that type of person and you can just be easily swayed and stuff, then it just behooves you to get into the Word of God and be ready to you know take all thoughts and whatnot captive to the Word of God, and do your comparison and contrast in that way. So that way when people come and try to share quote unquote their hogwash, or come and try to just maybe drain your energy or whatever it is, by sharing again the foolishness and deceit and the lies and things of that nature, then you can know the truth because it'll be written in your heart and you will be familiar, versus being easily swayed and by such things. And like I said, that's the juice this morning. Y'all can go deeper about all these things, but yeah, that is the juice. Now, the Bible verse of today is 2 Corinthians 4:16. It says, "For which cause we faint not, but though our outward man perish, yet the inward man is renewed day by day." Friends, I hope you all enjoyed this juice this morning. Thank you so much for listening to God, Sex, and Love, your daily dose of inspiration, the juice. I pray you guys can go forth and have a wonderful day, and I look forward to talking to you all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye-bye. There you go. Facebook, YouTube, Rumble. Anybody listening to the sound of my voice, I hope that you all are encouraged and inspired. Don't forget to like, subscribe, and share. And yeah, I hope y'all I hope that you all have a wonderful Wednesday. I'm supposed to go to one of those good old all staff meetings today. So that's something that's on my schedule. Outside of that, that's it that I know of, other than I'm supposed to do a virtual rehearsal with my cast for the show for next month. So that's another thing as well. We need to do it in person because they need to try these costumes on. But we're going to see what the Lord do. I ordered according to their sizing, so hopefully it works out. But, and yeah, so I guess, I'll let you all know what happened today, tomorrow, if the Lord's will. And yeah, y'all have a wonderful Wednesday. And look forward to talking to y'all tomorrow, if the Lord's will. Bye.